Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time where you are. I welcome you to this class today. In this class, I'll be teaching you how to cut a shirt, be it a senator shirt, be it a packet shirt, whatever kind of shirt it is. So long as it's shirt, I'm going to teach you how to cut a shirt today. Just like in the previous class where I taught how to cut trouser, I give some formulas that you are going to use to cut accurate measurement for every client. I'll be giving you the formula to cut a shirt today. Please, I want you to follow me, and I want you to also have your materials, that's your fabric, everything ready. As I'm doing it, you are also doing it. As I'll be teaching you these formulas, I would like you to also be writing. Take your pen, take your book, write down, study it, understand it, and apply it. Let's go. Alright, formally for cutting a shirt, we are starting with the length of the shirt. The length is denoted by L, is given by the actual length measurement, which is AL, plus 6 inches. When you are cutting, you are going to measure the actual length of the shirt of the client. You will now add 6 inches to it. For example, if the actual length of the client is 34 inches, so the length you are going to use when cutting will now be 34 plus 6, which will be now L equals to the length you are using will now be 40 inches. So that's what you are going to cut on your fabric when you want to cut for the shirt. I will demonstrate it and you will see. Alright, next we go to the shoulder. Shoulder is denoted by SH. Okay, is given by actual shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus half inch. Okay. The shoulder is given by actual shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus half inch. For example, if the actual shoulder measurement of the client is 18 inches, for instance, so the shoulder you are going to use now will now be 18 divided by 2 plus half inch, which is what? Shoulder that you'll be using to cut will now be 9, because 18 divided by 2 is 9 plus half inch. Therefore you'll be using the shoulder 9 and a half or 9.5 as the case may be. 9 and a half is the same thing with 9.5. So this is what you'll be using for the shoulder. Alright, we'll go to the third one. We are considering the sleeve. Which is denoted by SL. Now this is given by the actual sleeve plus 3 inches. in the case of short sleeve. Please, at this point I'll need to explain some things to you. The sleeve is the hand of the shirt. That's called sleeve. Now there is short sleeve and there is long sleeve. So this particular one I'm giving here is for the short sleeve, and that's what we are going to consider for now. I'll later explain the long sleeve, how it's being cut, in another video, because that need another kind of explanation. So but for now, for the sake of this particular one, we are considering the short sleeve. All right, for example, if the actual sleeve length or measurement of the client is 10 inches, so the sleeve you are going to now cut when cutting will now be 10 plus 3, which will be what? Sleeve equals to 13 inches. Okay, so the next we have is the chest. The next we have is the chest, or the bust, as the case might be. Some people call it bust, some people call it chest, but that's the upper part, that's the chest area. So we are considering the chest. That's number 4. The chest, which is denoted by CH, is given by actual chest measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches. Okay, and sometimes it could be plus 1.5 inch, depending on the space you want to have inside, the allowance you want to have inside. But I think we can just go with 2 inches for the sake of this video. Now, for example, if the actual chest measurement of the client is 42, okay, the chest you are now going to use when cutting will be 42 divided by 4 plus 2. Therefore it will be chest, that will be 42 divided by 4 is 10.5 plus 2. Therefore the chest you are going to be using will now be 12.5 or 12.5. 12.5 is the same with 12.5. So the next we have is the waist. The next we have is the waist, or the stomach. Some people call it waist, some people call it stomach. So for the sake of this video, we'll call it waist, denoted by W, is given by actual waist measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches. Okay, therefore for example, if the actual waist measurement of the client is 40, for instance, therefore the waist you'll be using for the cutting will now be 40 plus 2 inches. Therefore the waist you'll be using will be 40, will now be 40 divided by 4 plus 2 inch. So the waist you will now be using will be 40 divided by 4 is 10 plus 2 inches. Therefore the waist you'll be using will now be 12 inches. Okay, the next is the waist, the hip. Okay, some people call it hip, some people call it bottom, but for the sake of this video we are calling it hip. So that's number 6. Number 6, the hip, denoted by H, is given by actual hip measurement of the client divided by 4 plus 2 inches also. Okay, for example, if the actual hip measurement of the client is 43, for instance, it will now be the hip you are going to now use when cutting will now be 43 divided by 4 plus 2 inches. Therefore the hip will now be 43 divided by 4 is 10.75 is 10.75 plus 2. Therefore the hip you are going to use is 12.75 for, that's inches now for the hip. All right, basically, okay, then we will now consider the neck. The measurement for the neck, when we are cutting, I will explain that, because the measurement is divided into 2, so the front part and the back part. So for now, this is where we are stopping for the formulas. When we come to the neck, when we are cutting, I will explain that separately. All right, thank you. Please go through it carefully, understand it, memorize it, let it be part of you. With this, you can cut the shirt for any client at all, no matter his size or her size. All right, thank you so much.